For the past, I think, 3 decades, it's been a situation that we use a particular index in time. We can't forecast what inflation is going to be. And if you look back,
we've got a pretty good idea it's going to be a lot more than 3%, though, don't we?
Well, I'm just flagging that certainly more than the past decade, the inflation rate has been kept there, even though inflation has gone up, and we haven't seen other administrations change that. But we are conscious of the challenges that people will face, and that's why some of the targeted measures through the Household Support Fund are delivered by local councils who know their communities really well, will get that direct support there.
But you only produced £500 million at the Spring Statement for that support fund going through local authorities. It's not a lot of money in the context of the number of people who are really going to struggle, is it? An extra 500 million?
Well, add that to the £9.1 billion connected already to energy rebate. Some of that is a phasing over time, but some of that is a direct grant to people to help them with their energy bills, as well as other interventions that we've done overall across the 2 years. It will be over £22 billion that we are targeting at people who are vulnerable and need that extra financial support.
But isn't it the case that what happened at the Spring Statement was that whatever headroom there was, whatever room for manoeuvre the Chancellor had, he tried to direct it towards eventual tax cuts, whereas what people need now is real help, and that's not the choice that the Chancellor and your government made.
Well, I think £22 billion over the 2 financial years is real help, but we're not deaf to these challenges, and that's why, for a number of people, we want to help them get into work or help them improve their working time and pay. We've got the national living wage going up, so there's a number of different ways that we're actively intervening to try and make sure work pays, but also this extra focus on people who cannot work.
I mean, we've got used to seeing food banks, springing up everywhere. They've now become almost part of the landscape, just the infrastructure of people who are in real need, based on charity. Do you feel a little ashamed that the government can't provide that sort of service?
I'm not surprised that people look for support when they are struggling, and it's great that the communities have responded.
But it shouldn't be up to the communities to respond through charity. Shouldn't the state, the Department of Work and Pensions, which you head, be able to do that?
Well, that's what we do, through providing support through the welfare state and also helping people to get into work. That's a really important part of what we are undertaking.
This is going to get worse, isn't it? We know that energy prices, for instance, the cap is going to go up again, we assume, in October. Are people going to get more help later this year, or is this it?
Well, lots of the help has been outlined on what is intended. I know, for example, if you talk about, say, prepayment meter customers, the expectation is absolutely that they'll be joining in the rebate like everybody else. So we will continue to put efforts into helping people with the cost of living, but also thinking through the 5p cut in the fuel duty. It's the biggest cut ever. Also, we're going to be taking about 6 million households of not paying national insurance at all.
The measures in the Spring Statement, for instance, you just mentioned, like fuel duty cut or taking people out of national insurance, that's fine if you're driving a car, if you're in work. We're talking really, aren't we, about the people who are really struggling, who need more help. And I come back to this point, you could have raised benefits more than 3%. Did you fight with the Chancellor? Did you say this is what we need to do? Did you go in and have that fight with the Chancellor to say this is where we've got to raise that money?
Well, the decision was made some time ago. I made that announcement last November. We are putting the process through. It went through Parliament just recently.
But as the head of Department of Work and Pensions, did you not want to go in and say to the Chancellor, we need more money from you for this? Did you make that argument?
Well, I think there's an element of what we have done is providing some targeted support. We've focused a lot, £9 billion is a substantial sum to be targeting on people helping with the cost of energy. As I say, there's measures that have come through about the national insurance thresholds. So we are targeting support in different ways on where the pinch is right now.
What do you say to the people that we've been talking to who just really feel they're on the breadline and they need more help and they don't feel they're getting it from the government right now? What would you say to them?
The best way to try and for most people, a challenge right now is to get people working who cannot work. And of course, for people who cannot work, we will continue to focus on extra support that we can try and help people to get.
Therese Coffey, thanks very much.
Thank you.